Are we live? Yes, I think we are live. Hello, everyone. My name is Chiara. I'm the marketing and events manager here at Wagon in Lisbon. We're live at the campus today, and as usual, I am not alone. I am here today with Rita and Beatriz. They both belong to a company that we really wanted to have with us in our Power Tech Talk. It's the second talk that we have in this context, I'd say, where we invite tech companies to share their stories, their journey, the challenges they faced. And in this case, we decided to invite GoParity, that is a, correct me if I'm wrong, it's an investment platform, right? Impact investment platform, where basically you put together in connection companies with individuals who would like to make an investment in sustainable projects overall. I think that then later on you will have time and space to explain us better what it is. Beatriz is the lead developer at GoParity, and she's also one of our alumni. When did you do the bootcamp? How many years ago?
I did the bootcamp in January 2019 until March 2019.
All right. Okay. A couple of years ago then. And Rita is the head of marketing, right? But as far as I know, you're also involved in the product parts of GoParity. So we will see later
I
on.
work a lot with Beatriz.
Nice. Good, good. Just to give a few words about what Wagon is, we are a coding school. We're pretty much everywhere in the world, in 45 cities. And what do? We offer web development courses through an intensive bootcamp of 9 weeks that will give, let's say, the possibility for people to change their lives, either change their career, upskill their current knowledge, become a freelancer, start their own company. So many different stories and reasons to join Wagon. Of course, feel free to get in touch with us through our website, through social media, whichever platform you prefer, and we'll be more than happy to provide more information about our courses. I think that we started a little bit later than the usual, so probably everybody is already online following us. I think I will leave the stage to you, Rita, then for a small presentation and introduction of GoParity.
Do you have the presentation? Okay. Okay. I think everyone can see us, right? Okay. Can you help me and then we change, Bia, maybe? Okay. So Chiara presented us a bit already. Can you? Okay. But I'm summing it up. I'm Rita. I'm an ex-economy, ex-marketeer in corporate world, current GoParity investor, which is very important, and the current head of marketing at GoParity, and giving a little hand to product as well with Beatriz. I am on a more personal side. I am initiating my FIRE journey, so financial independence, retire early, which is something that I hope a movement that I hope many more people can join and use GoParity to do so. I'm a true believer in individual action and in how our individual consumer behavior can shape the economy. And I'm incredibly proud to be working at a company that enables this sustainable change.
Okay, that was a great introduction, Rita. Now I'm overwhelmed. Okay, so I am Beatriz. I am currently the lead developer in GoParity. So I have my own little team of devs, of which I'm very proud of. And I put it here like based on the bootcamp. My background was completely different. I used to work in theater, and then I did the bootcamp batch 224 in 2019, and I was looking for a job, and Chiara will talk about that later. But basically, right now, I use tech for me, which is really important. I use tech to as a vehicle for impact, because for me, it's really important to see the impact of the things that I build, and it's something that I'm really proud and gives me more motivation to keep going. So that's kind of us.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So
Um, okay, so can I, if I do this, can they still see me? Because it's easier. Okay, so I just want to add a note, which I forgot when we were presenting ourselves, about the fact that I'm really proud to be representing a tech company and having two women representing a tech company. This is uh, not only an achievement within the tech industry, but also within the investment industry, where there is a huge gender gap still. And at GoParity, we really want to have an active role in reducing this gap. Okay. So now moving on to why we are here. Uh, the richest 1% of the people in the world own 50% of all the wealth. And the fact is that financial illiteracy intensifies this gap. There is a book which I really love. I think it's Rich Dad Poor Dad or something like this, that says that the poor people buy debt, the rich people buy investment. And this is how I think GoParity can work towards reducing this financial literacy, which is by allowing everyone from anywhere in the world at any age, as long as you're an adult, to invest and increase your wealth or your savings €5 at a time. Um, on top of this, there is a lot of money being invested to achieve the sustainable development goals, but still we are witnessing loss of biodiversity, resource depletion, and progressive climate change. And this is where we want to have an active role. Another interesting fact is the fact that our generation, I think most, or at least most of the people in this room, has been showing a willingness to allocate their money towards things that matter to them and align their financial and economic life with their personal values. And what we believe at GoParity is that you cannot make a change towards a sustainable lifestyle and be zero waste or become vegan or consume in a more responsible way without looking at your finances. Because when you put your money at a bank, for example, you could be investing in fossil fuels, and most of the people are not aware of this fact. So, what is impact investing? And this is where we come from. Very easily, it's applying your money with impact or using your money for good. And impacts can be about the environment, or it can be about being socially responsible and using your money for good in general. At GoParity, these benefits come also with a minimum investment of €5 and the fact that we have no opening or management fees. Why do we want to highlight this as much? It's because we are really on a mission to democratize the access to sustainable finance, and we could not do it if we did not open our doors or the door to our community with lowering these entry barriers that people usually see when they see the words investment, or they think this is like a very dark and deep secret. And now to go into our business model. It's pretty simple. We're at the middle. We connect investors and promoters. The investors can be anyone from anywhere in the world. We have a lot of nationalities at GoParity at the moment. What investors do is that they lend money from €5 to €25,000 to promoters. Promoters are the company who promotes sustainable projects. They use the money to create incredible projects that you can see on our website, which was developed by Bia and her team of great tech developers. Promoters use this money and then they pay back the money with interest to the investors. So by investing in GoParity, you're not just creating a great impact, but you're also getting interest, which is the return. Okay. Now, onto the projects we fund. How do we define the projects that we accept at GoParity? The best way to put it is saying that we use the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals as a, how do you say, bússola? As a compass, exactly. So if it fits there, if it contributes to achieve one of these goals, then it fits at GoParity. Of course, besides that, we need to look at the financial viability of all the projects, because we're always thinking on also protecting our investors. So we cannot fund, we would love to fund individual entrepreneurs with great ideas. We sometimes get these requests, but on the other side, we have investors who really want to have their money back. So we need to always weigh both sides. These are the categories that we fund. So water and blue economy, green use of land, business in transition, social economy, and sustainable energy. And the way we see these categories is we ask ourselves, where is the money? How is the money going to be used? And the category should answer that question. So if you go to our website, you see all our open projects, you can identify all these little icons, and you can see how your money is going to be used. Now I have a little quiz. I don't know if we can be interactive or not, but I will ask and answer at the same time, because I think this is important to understand how to read the categories. So if we're launching a solar energy central that will be installed in an institution for social solidarity, where do you think this category fits? It's sustainable energy or social economy? I can give you 20 seconds.
Anyone from the public who would like to answer to this question?
So, does it belong in both? Maybe no.
No.
Okay, I tried.
No, but I'm
Just one?
yes.
I have to bet on one. So
Yes.
I would say sustainable energy.
You're right. It's kind of a trick question, but I think this is one of the best examples to understand what are the categories. So the money is going to be used in a solar energy central. The solar energy central contributes to decarbonizing the economy. That's what the category means. Although of course there are a lot of indirect impacts that we also measure, but they're not in the category. This is an overview of the projects that we fund. I randomly selected some. I will not mention all of them. I will just say that we have funded 110 projects as of today. I think we actually, since we started, funded the 111th. Yeah. And this is the card, again, beautifully developed by our dev team, where you can see all the information, the amount the companies are trying to raise, the number of people who invested in these projects, and the campaign conditions. And these are the financial conditions, which we will not discuss or develop or teach here, because it's a bit we would need to go a bit more deeply, but we have a great support team that can answer all the questions. So if at the end you're interested in GoParity, please email them. Now on to Via.
So about our history and milestones. We started in 2017, and we're a platform to invest in renewable energies, and we were straight away received the seal of approval by CMVM, so which is kind of a good thing for us, because people trust us more because of it. And then we had, you can't really see, but 5 projects and 150K invested. And in 2018, we received EU funding, And we started what we call the marketplace, where if you're tired of your investment after a while, you can sell it to another investor. And then we reached 1,000 users. We won the MetLife Award, and I entered here in 2019. And it's really cool because you really see what we've done. And then that time we started to focus a lot on SDG, and we started to configure something what we call auto investment, which is the investors who already like us. They don't want to be bothering like, oh, a new project arrives. They want to configure their settings, and we invest for them, and they love it, and we love it, and it's a win-win situation for both of us. And did it change? Okay. And then in 2020, we did something which a lot of investors requested. We are always kind of listening for feedback. It's really important, and it's the way to evolve. So we developed the GoParity IBAN for each investor. So it's really easy to transfer your money from your current bank to a GoParity wallet. And we developed something called the savings plan, which is we make it even easier for you to invest. You don't even need to top up your GoParity wallet. We go pick up the money via direct debit from your bank every month and invest by you. So you don't need to do anything. You just configure everything, and we do it for you. And then in 2020, something really cool happened, which was we were selected for Google for Startups Bootcamp. We reached the 10,000 users, and we reached 9 countries worldwide. And then in 2021, we started to develop our product, because even more, we were really focused always on private investors. And we started to realize that companies wanted to invest a lot too, and they could invest more. So we started to develop products for them, like how can you, if your company invests, how much it offsets, like from your carbon footprint, and much more. And right now we have 20,000 people impacted, 50 nationalities. We won more awards, and the plan for later on is, first of all, new geographies. We want to implement some kind of user gamification, and we want to be able to give GoParity to third parties, and they can invest from their bank, from their own platform. Anyone who wants to invest, we develop the software, and they invest like wherever they want. This is the main goal, and it is really cool, by the way. Okay, so after launching our first international project just a little bit over a year ago, we are now in 8 countries, and we have investors from 60 nationalities. And something really cool which was in the last 8 months, we raised as much as since the beginning. So in the last 8 months, we had the exponential growth, as you can see from this graphic. And Rita, do you want to talk about our impact?
Yes. So this is an overview of the impact now that we bragged about our financial figures and growth. These are more or less the impact metrics that we showcase in our website. There are much more, but we're trying to structure them. And we look at impact this way. We measure the tons of CO2 that our projects avoid every year, and we have reforestation projects, solar energy, electric mobility, and much more. We measure the number of people with a savings plan. And why are we measuring this? Because we believe that allowing people to have access to a savings plan also means reducing the financial gap. That's why we have this number here. We measure the people impacted, and this is one of my, well, I think it's my favorite metric personally. And this is the people in vulnerable situations that we impacted. It could be students with sustainability matters on their subjects. It can be small rural developments. It can be people with autism. We launched it was our first non-governmental project to fund, and it's really incredible to see this number. Then we also measure the number of people with IBAN access. Again, this is a way for us to measure the financial illiteracy and how we contribute to reducing it. We measure the number of acres of sustainable agriculture and biodiversity. And again, here we could be measuring the projects of reforestation. We could be measuring sustainable aquaculture. So it's really the way we are helping preserve lands and sea. Then we measure the jobs created by our projects. And when we look at this number, we're not talking about the people employed by the promoters. It's really the people that our promoters are able to employ due to the projects they fund with us. And then we measure clean energy saved or generated with our projects. And now let's go for a quick dive into the website. Now I think it's your turn again.
Okay. So do you want to talk about the gift card? Okay. So we released a code for you guys called Wagon 5, which you can go under if you register today, and if you're a first user, you can just go to the vouchers and gifts section in our website, and we give you 5 more euros in your first investment. And you only need 5 euros to invest, so use it and abuse it.
Thank you.
Okay, so in our platform, it's really simple to invest. You really need 4 steps. You need to go through our onboarding. So you need to register, and we need to validate your identity. You need to put money in your GoParity wallet. And then you need to decide what type of investor you are. Are you more impact driven, or are you more looking for money? Plain and simple. And then based on the projects you find, you'll find a match and you invest. And that's really easy. Those are basically the 4 steps. And then once you do all of that and you invest, you kind of have a financial summary. You can see your impact. You can do a lot of things in our app. This is an overview. And you can take money out. You can configure your auto investment, all of that. And basically, that's pretty much our app. Just a quick overview, which is going to change very soon because we are very ambitious, and it's a good thing. Yeah. So, okay. And this is our team, which we grew more now. Not everyone is here, unfortunately. And yeah, and this is us. So use your codes, invest, impact, invest, and grow your money while you grow your impact, I guess. Yeah, and that's it.
Woohoo!
Okay.
All right. I think we are back. Yes, we stopped sharing this. João, may I ask you to mute here? Okay, setting up everything to go back to the talk. It's the first time actually that we're trying this hybrid event. So step by step, we're making it nice and smooth. Well, first of all, thank you, Rita, and thank you, Beatriz, for this great presentation. And I think GoParity is a great concept. I'm really happy that we are able to talk more and more about sustainability and the connection actually between sustainability and tech, and how tech can actually empower these concepts, these ideas that I would say that before were a little bit of a niche kind of thing, but through either web development, data science, which are the two, let's say, pillars here that we see at Wagon, we have seen through many different talks and events, such as this one, how projects can actually grow, how can we spread, let's say, more awareness about sustainability and how we can apply it to our lives thanks to tech. So thank you for this overview, which was great and really complete, let's say, about who you are and how you work. I would go right now to the Q&A part. Of course, the people who are here with us or the people who are watching us from home, don't be shy. You have a questions tab. You have a chat tab and a questions tab right next to it on the right. Feel free to write any questions, any doubts, curiosities that you might have for Rita and Beatriz. I will start actually, because I have some questions myself. Normally what I like to do in these kind of talks is to start from a retrospective, let's say, from the past, see the present of you girls and GoParity and what's there for the future. So I will just give a quick overview in the past. Let's take a step back, and I would like to start with Beatriz actually, because we know that you are a Levagon alumni, that you, as you said, started in a different career path. You come from theater, right? So it's pretty different that the point where you are now. So can you tell us a little bit more, apart from your past that you already shared, what triggered you, what made you think about a career in tech?
Um, I had misconceptions about tech, so I thought it wasn't for me because I needed some creativity, and to be honest, I couldn't really see myself tied to a desk job, so it scared me. But then by accident, I did some tests, and it triggered tech, and I went to see some workshops like with no expectations. So with that, it kind of triggered my curiosity, and then it kind of turned on a switch because I was like, oh, there are so many cool things, and this is so creative. Like there are so many cool things that I can achieve with this, and I can do a lot. And like obviously you need a team, but you can start yourself, like, and
Of
there's
course.
nothing stopping you. So I think that was what triggered me into tech, was like like it's never ending, it never ends, and when you think it's done, no, there's a new thing to learn, and you need to keep up to date, and there are so many amazing things that you can build. So that was what triggered me into tech.
Nice. And I think that there is I don't know if you agree, but there's a bit of a misconception about tech not being so creative or not opening so many possibilities. I think that some people have in the beginning an initial idea that tech is something a little bit squared, framed and a bit geeky. While actually, as you said, and as many other people said in the past, let's say, and the people that I've met here at Livagon, working in tech is actually way more creative and dynamic than it actually may seem, let's say, in the beginning. And talking about GoParity, apart from why you joined, I think it's a bit obvious in the sense that you are invested in this kind of issues. How did it happen?
Actually, I I saw the job offer through Wagon, like
All right.
so GoParity shared with Wagon, and I thought I had no chance because I was so junior. But then I saw the company and I loved it. I loved it. I Before I went to the interview, I actually researched the whole, like, not this website, the previous one, like, and I, yeah, in case they had any questions, I knew it all by heart. And that's how I joined. Like, I saw the job listing here in a Slack channel, and I was like, okay, let's try. This seems really cool. Why not? Um,
Nice.
yeah, yeah, and that was
And then
it.
it happened, and now we're
And it
here.
happened.
Good. And talking again about the past, let's say, I have some questions for Rita. You have been working for GoParity for a couple of years now, right?
1 year and a half.
Okay. So, and as we saw, there was kind of an increase, let's say, in the investments in GoParity, lots of new projects, lots of new features, let's say quite a few changes. So, how was it back in the days when you joined? Was it different? How did you see the growth, let's say, and if something actually had an impact? Let's say the pandemic, for example, I think it's kind of influenced it.
Um, yes, a lot changed, and the pandemic definitely had an impact. And I would say it even postponed our growth probably for 6 months. Okay, and this is what is so cool in a startup. Because when I joined GoParity, it was right before the pandemic. I was with these guys for like 2 weeks in the office, and then we went home. And all of a sudden, we had promoters who could not pay, which was something that never happened. And we had to manage this from a marketing point of view, from a customer support point of view and from a product. And when I mean product, I mean development, of course. So we had to give them options that were not developed yet, that were not even designed yet, and we didn't even know what we had to give to these people. So we were very, very quick to adapt. In 1 or 2 weeks, we contacted all our promoters. We asked like who needs to restructure the loans, who can pay and who can't. Then we talked with our lawyers. We reviewed the terms and conditions or checked the terms and conditions. We wrote all the requisites. We designed more or less. Sometimes we didn't because there was no time. So the dev team was developing as we go, and we were honestly, when I look back, it was amazing what we were capable of doing with such a small team, but a small team of doers. Like we decided on the go. And one of the most impressive things, and this is more of even a more personal thing, is that the way our investors dealt with this, which was we had a lot of people writing us and saying, look, I love this company. I understand that the company is closed and is not selling. So, of course, they cannot pay. What can I do to help them? Okay. And they were great. Most of the investors were very accepting of the new terms. And this is how I think what helped us respond so well. And I think it's really like the triple combination of marketing, customer, and products. Because I know a lot of people are thinking and using these hype words and keywords of user-centric design and user-centric development. I'm not saying we do it in a perfect way yet. We're walking towards that, but we are really trying, and it's on everyone's mindset. So we really listened, everyone. And I'm not sure if I answered. I'm sorry.
It fully answered, I think, and I agree with you to the mention that you made with the pandemic. The fact of having, as you said, having the tech team working on things while you were also working on that at the same time and keeping on evolving and developing stuff, which is a thing that it was a challenge that I think many companies faced. And then in this case, I think it's all about teamwork. It's all about product being able to communicate with the tech team and to being kind of synchronized, I would say, and be able, let's say, to move on and face the challenges together. So it's good to hear that you have a good dynamic. I had no doubt about it, but yeah. I think we have a question, do we? Of course. I will just move on to the publics. I'm sorry.
Hi. Hello. Can everyone hear me? Okay, cool. So this, first of all, thank you so much for the talk. It was really insightful. My question is for Beatriz. So you are an alumni of Wagon, and you heard about that job opportunity from the alumni Slack channel. You said you thought you weren't able to make it. You said you weren't sure you were able to make it, but even though you went and you did it. So what advice do you have for the future graduate that we have for our batch to overcome that imposter syndrome?
The kind of advice is do it anyway. Like, don't let your fear like kind of stop it. Do it anyway, because even if you don't get it, it's kind of practice for next time. Okay, like, because like the no is not personal. Okay, like companies don't say no because they don't exactly like you. The yes is like when a company says yes, I truly believe it's because they saw something different in you. So I think just keep doing it, like until take it as an exercise. Like is like practicing for an exam, because these tricks and these questions will be roughly like similar. So keep practicing until one day you get it. That's my advice.
Okay, so if I may, and to start, thank you for the talk and congratulate you with the project and the product as well. So I have a couple of questions, if Chiara allows me. So the first one for Rita. So on a marketing perspective, how important do you think the quality of the platform is? Because obviously, when you are trying to sell your concept and your product, you are talking about impact and return. So how important do you think that the product that Beatriz builds is? And I don't want to create any issues between the two of you. And then the second one to Beatriz is probably a bit more technical on how did the product evolve through time, namely in terms of the stack that you used. Why did you make the changes you did? Yeah.
Okay, so it's an interesting question. Thank you. I would say, and actually, I've heard this a lot from entrepreneurs outside Portugal, and what they usually say is that we focus too much on project and on product, and we want to make the product too perfect before starting to sell it. Okay, and that's not a not a complaint, but something that they point out to Portuguese entrepreneurs a lot. I've heard this a lot. I do think it's important to have a good product to sell it, but I think it's even more important to test it and develop it as we go. Okay, because most of the times, even if I consider ourselves a user-centric platform, and even if we listen a lot to our customers, most of the times they say they want everything. And if we ask them, do you want A? They do. Do you want B? They do, and they want everything. So if we stick too much behind our computers and we develop, and we launch a perfect product, it can be just a perfect product, but just for a user that we don't have. So I would say it's important that the product is functional. And like we've never launched a product with bugs and all of that, but I think it's more important that we put it out and then we build on that, and we're flexible, and I think we are.
Okay, regarding our tech stack, we work with PHP and Laravel, and the normal front-end languages, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And it used to be okay and good for us, and it still is very good, of course, but we grew so much that we realized that the way the tech stack was built didn't do it for us anymore. So we decided to completely segregate the front end from the back end part of it, and use a JavaScript framework, which is what you see nowadays in our public pages, because when I entered the GoParity, we had 10 projects, 20 projects, and then we have 110. So what you were requesting is a lot more heavier than when we started. So we used Vue and Nux to help us with that, and it did a wonderful job. It's nowhere near you can't even compare. So that's our tech stack, and that's why we decided to make those decisions. But we still have a very good and strong backend in Laravel. And did I?
Yeah, you did. And a quick follow-up question, if I may. So what was the hardest part to develop? Because you have primary market, secondary market, auto investor. What was probably the trickiest?
Most difficult thing is the secondary market, by far. I didn't know about the most complicated thing is the secondary market, not because it allows a lot of passing and making calculations from one investor to the other. And that's by far, it's like a big dragon with 7 heads. But
yeah, thank you. I don't know if, so probably I can do an extra one. Chiara, if you... Okay. Okay, so it's more on, I'd say, a high-level perspective in terms of, being a startup in Portugal and in Lisbon specifically. What do you think, and I think this is to both of you, were the main challenges? And you have an investment platform, so I assume that legally there is a lot of constraints there. For example, what were the main challenges, also the main, I'd say, helpers that you had, at least over the last 2 years that you've been in GoParity?
Okay, so this one needs to be answered on a very personal basis, I think, because probably our struggles were different. Um, so, for the high level for the company, I think it's people, and this is not a random generic word. It is very hard to build a team that is the perfect for today and is the perfect for 1 year, for in 1 year, okay? Because the type of skills that we need, like when I entered, I had to do everything from support, marketing, product, whatever. And now I need to get specialized. At the moment, this was the type of skills that I had to develop, but then that I needed to answer. And at the moment, I need to have different skills. And either you have the luck of having people who can evolve with the company and can adjust to different roles, or you don't. And it is actually very hard to find someone that will grow exactly the same way as the company grows. And every time someone leaves a startup and such a small team, it's a huge impact, because we're not a lot, and everyone at the team probably knows something that no one else does. This is changing, but 1 year ago, definitely it was like this. So yeah, I think this is
you answered perfectly. Yeah.
the biggest challenge.
Thank you.
All right, Nuno, thank you for saving me some time, because I think that you made actually some really nice questions also from the technical side, which is not my thing. So I am more a human side of things, and I like to ask personal things. So thank you. Thank you for allowing me to save this time and questions on my side. Um, I would go then again to the personal side of things. You've shown us already a lot of information on the impact and numbers of your projects and the people that you connected, the people that you kind of helped improving their lives in this path, and the project for the future of GoParity. What about you girls? What do you do in your daily life? You said it more or less. What's your favorite thing about your job? And also, tricky question, what is the thing that you like the least about your job? Because they also ask they always ask what's the favorite part of things, but never the thing that you like the least.
Okay, my favorite thing is two things. First of all, I truly like to see the impact that my features. I feel a little bit egocentrical, but I do. I like it. Like I like to see my things, the things I built
should.
online, and I like to see the impact they have, and I really like that. The second is I actually I I love to. I actually really like to plan ahead, and I like to see like where we're going, and I get excited, and I start to think technically how will that apply, and how to do that, how to give those things to my team, and also for me. And I love that part. The least favorite part of my job is, well, it's actually two things as well to balance it out. Is one, because we're a small team, like dev is, and we're fintech, so half of our product is tech. The devs are kind of the glue of a lot of things. So I have to adapt to sometimes problems that people have, that they are not even my field, but someone needs help and I need to provide it to them. And secondly, is because we're a startup and it's something I love, which is we're constantly changing, but because sometimes I like to plan ahead and I'm thinking, okay, in 2 weeks, this is going to be it. And then like it completely is like, no, now we're going to change. And that for me, sometimes like, oh no, I'm sad now. Yeah. It frustrates me a little bit.
Story of many startups, I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's a good thing because no, like in our startup, I don't think no 2 days are the same. Like I can say, yeah, I did the exact same job like 2 days in a row. No, like I'm like new ideas keep coming and like new requests, and you also have to adapt because I might not know I might not have the skills necessary for that feature, so I need to prep myself and I need to learn and I need to also ask for help sometimes to other people. Like okay, which is really important. Like you don't live all by yourself. So yeah, I guess those are the things I like the most, and I also really like our team. I think it's a good team. Yeah, I really do. I really do. I think it's half of our what makes the product great. Yeah, and that's it.
I will steal the first two, but just to explain it in a different way. So definitely the impact. And when I mean impact, I'm not just talking about sustainability, but also about the impact of my work. I came from big companies and I spent a lot of time developing and designing PowerPoints that were not implemented. So the designs that I did were not innovative at the time they were being implemented. And at GoParity, I spent 1 hour designing and it's going live 1 week after or 2 weeks after. And then the second team, it's really also the team. I hope we can keep it as we grow because I think it's going to be tough. But like working at GoParity is like if you're making a group work with people you like, except the group work is your company. So it's a very good feeling. The thing that I dislike the most, I think it's the difficulty to have a good work-life balance. And I'm not just saying this because of the hours we work or because we work too much or not. It's much more about the inability to disconnect when you are working in such a small company. So even if I would live and work from 9 to 5 p.m. every day, I would still be working until 9 p.m. because I just cannot switch off. So.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. And I think that you have been sharing some good and bad sides of many different companies who work in tech and have this pretty much the same size as yours, a startup. The model, it repeats kind of the pattern, it repeats itself a little bit. And one thing that I noticed is that we've been talking a lot about everything being fast paced in terms of product, in terms of knowledge, that everything keeps on evolving and moving, right? And I think this is something also that needs to be applied to your own training, education, your knowledge. You know it better than me, I think. So my question in this case would be, what do you do to stay up to date in your field, in your specific role, or in general in the area in business, let's if we can call it in this way, that you work with? If you have any tips to share also with the public.
For me, it's kind of, I don't have any specific tips because I think I evolve with the product because the product keeps evolving. And if I don't keep up to date, um, I'll become redundant. So I don't have any specific tips, but what I'll say is like, okay, for someone who's a freelancer or something like that, I would keep building like incrementing my project or build different projects with more complexity, but with a clear vision. But yeah, how do you keep up to date? The thing is really like in my job, I think I learn something new every day. Like, so I have no choice as well. I wouldn't want it any other way. But then, like, I have a request to do something which I've never done before, and like I have to Google, I have to read documentation, and I have to build it, and that's how I keep up to date, because the requirements keep coming, the languages keep changing, so I constantly have to, like, there's not a day that I'm like, oh yeah, I know everything to know this feature. I won't Google one single thing. No, I do it every day, and that's how I keep up to date. It's a job requirement, actually. But yeah.
The learning by doing kind of way, right?
Um, yeah, on my side, I was actually going to say that we have a lot to learn from the dev team, and I've repeated this a lot to like other people not working in dev, because if you're a developer, you know you have to research to do a feature, which is something that if you're doing something that at the beginning seems more intuitive or that you can just do, you're not, yeah, I can do this, I will just do it, so you don't research. And I think usually developers ever, the good ones at least, have a different way of working, which is they're always studying every day. Yeah. So that's my tip, to keep this studying. And I have one other that I'm trying to do. I'm not saying that I can do it on a daily basis, but it's to reach out to people, because the startup community in Portugal, it's growing. There's a lot of good entrepreneurs and a lot of companies who have done the same experience as us, and we can learn with their mistakes. And I think most of the people will answer if you reach them out on LinkedIn to ask for a question, or say, I just need a 10-minute talk to see if this is the right way to do it. So.
Really nice tip. And I think it's something that happens more or less also in the Levagon community, in the sense that people, yes, enroll in a bootcamp, they stay together during 9 weeks, but I don't know from your experience, Beatriz, but I think that after the bootcamp also people stay in touch, they share experience, you are still in touch with the whole community, you can actually proactively get in touch, let's say, with the people, and yeah, learn from them. A reminder to the ones that are here, if you have any questions, to the ones who are home, if you have any questions as well, that you can write in the questions tab. Otherwise, I will pass to the last chapter, let's say, of the Q&A, to the future part. We have seen the future of GoParity in your slides, and I think in pretty good details. Actually, if you want to share the slides with me after this event, I'll be more than happy to share it with the participants of this event. And what about the future for you girls, as Beatriz and as Rita? How do you picture yourself in the future?
It's very hard to answer to that question, because especially for me, who I'm like jumping around within several roles. But yeah, the truth is that I actually like jumping around in some of the roles, so I don't want to necessarily lose all of that. I don't see myself as a specialist in the future, but I would like to have more time in this year or end of year to dedicate more to product, which is something that I'm really passionate about, and user experience in general. It's like a puzzle, and it has a lot of customer, and it's really interesting. So maybe that, but again, we're always the way we change our roadmap. It's the way I change my personal lifestyle roadmap, or I don't know.
Yeah, for me, to be honest, I don't know. Yeah, because things move so fast that I don't know what my future will be in a month. But what I would like it to be honest, I would like to um, to become a like I I would like to become like a really monster developer. There's like, oh, I can do everything like with one click almost. because I would like to keep developing that way. But also, like, I came on this new role, which is managing people, which is different. And that is also a massive challenge in itself. And I want to be better at it. And I want to be more assertive at it. And also, I hope that I become good at it. That I'm like, yeah, we can build the team, and I'll be comfortable with that. And I'll be comfortable talking as well with product. Well, I'm comfortable talking with product, but like becoming way more smooth and fluid. It's like we're walking hand in hand, and okay, there's this feature is kind of already very much impregnated with product dev design, and I would like for that to be like it's a good future. It's a future with like ponies, and it's a good future. It's the future I would like to have.
Nice. One thing that I actually didn't ask you, quick question. How many people do you have in the tech team at GoParity?
Counting with me 4.
All right. Very quick question, very quick answer. All right. I am looking at the screen. I don't think we have any questions from home, but do we have any from here? No. Then I think we are done and we can officially close this Power Tech Talk. Once again, thank you, Rita. Thank you, Beatriz, for being with us today. And you're going to be receiving a replay of this event. Make sure to check out our Eventbrite and Meetup to see all the upcoming events that we have for the month of September. We have a full agenda. And I think that's pretty much it. Thank you all.